Ninja Land. Hello everybody, welcome back to my Steven Universe episodic reviews. Today's episode will be Cheeseburger Backpack. Now, to start off with, I'd like to say that over the long time thinking about this episode, I'm thinking, I hated this episode. I feel like this episode was one of the worst episodes in this series. Now, on this last viewing, it kind of grew on me, but I still have to say, I might change this, but I think this is the worst episode of Steven Universe. There are a couple of reasons for this. Now, I would like to preface this, wish I would have prefaced it with saying that Steven Universe is a very good show, so this is not a horrible episode. On my first viewing, yes, I disliked it compared to Laser Light Cannon. However, it wasn't enough to get me to stop watching the series or anything like that, and this is only the third episode. So that does mean it's a pretty good episode in terms of television in general, but this is probably one of my least favorite episodes. I think better way to phrase it would be, this is probably one of my least favorite episodes in the series. Now, this opinion might change. It's entirely possible that through this viewing and thinking about episodes individually, I might change that and I might say that there's an episode worse than this, but this is not the best episode in the series, I'd like to say that. I think the big thing that I noticed right away on a second time viewing through this series is that early on in the series there are a lot of character expressions and poses that are either mistakes or clearly trying to get a meme frame, kind of goofy face so that people will make memes or post the picture online without any context. This is the peak of that. This is
hold on.
Most intense that it gets in the series. It's not necessarily frustrating, but it's like, oh wow, that really doesn't fit in with the episode.
Yeah.
Now that really doesn't bug me because I'm very forgiving of visual stuff because this episode has gorgeous backgrounds. The environment for the Sea Spire is beautiful. Going back, at the end of the episode is really nice. Like I'm watching this and I'm thinking, should I say that this is the worst episode? Because I really, it's gorgeous. Like the music and the atmosphere, it's so gorgeous. But this is probably the worst. This has a lot of the worst poses and facial animations in the series. On top of it, I hate this. There's this plot line that bugs me in most cartoons at all shows, is when one character is a tryhard. They're like prepared. They like do this, and this, and another character comes along and they just like, I don't even care. I'm just gonna do it, and they do it perfectly. Everybody loves them. Everybody cheers for them. I've always hated that. It's always frustrating because I guess maybe I identify with that because I try hard and fail a lot. I guess I don't know. You can tell me, but I've always hated that, and it proves that no matter if it's like a lot of people earlier, like a long time ago, they would only do this with the female characters, and it would bug me back then, and people would say, oh, you probably just don't like girls or anything like that, or you're just being sexist or something like that. They've started doing it with more, they've started bringing this plot line into more things, and I think this is the perfect example. Like, no, I hate it when it's a guy, it's a girl, anything. I prefer the person who puts in effort to the person who just is great at everything. And I hated it. I didn't like it. I didn't particularly like it here. I felt a lot of empathy for Pearl. However, I do appreciate that they kind of dropped the whole, this person is getting all the attention.
Oh, all right. Cheeseburger.
In the grand scheme, it makes sense because Pearl is, in the grand scheme, but on a first viewing, these are the thoughts that came through my head. I was glad that they kind of dropped it because Pearl was just like, whatever, I'm just going to cheer for him too. Whatever. And then he screws up. So I'm glad they dropped it quickly, but I still hate that little thread there. It's a good episode in terms of like just grand TV. But in terms of when I compare it to the other Steven Universe episodes, and when I just think about it, it's not that great of an episode. If you're going for a rewatch, there's technically there's one tie-in episode that's really good, by the way, that you'd kind of need to know. But if you're rewatching it, you know about it already. Honest to God, when I'm thinking about rewatching the series, I think I should skip this episode. Let me know what you guys think. I understand that I might be in the minority here. I don't know exactly what everybody feels about this episode. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I think I want to sum that up. I don't think it's a bad episode. I just don't think it's as good as the other ones. And I hope that I explained properly. All right, so thank you for watching this review. The next review will be Together Breakfast. I knew that without looking at it. All right.